We're so pleased to have with Positive Impact now Ms. Meg Delore, the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, and an organization which sponsors and also donates, will take any volunteers possible, and works with family here in our community to build homes. Now that sounds very ambitious, Ms. DeLorean, and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me this
Oh,
afternoon, actually.
we're just happy. You guys do great things. Habitat for Humanity. And we understand you build homes.
That's actually our core mission, is to place families in homes throughout the Vegas Valley. We work with low to moderate income families, many of whom have jobs, who just for circumstances in their lives are not able to afford a home on their own. So we help them to get that home and to get that dream. And we call it a hand up, not a handout.
Wonderful. Now, are these people who have like first-time home buyers?
Some of them are first-time home buyers, but others have owned homes previously. Maybe they lost them through the economic recession. Maybe they moved here from somewhere else. The majority are definitely first-time homeowners, though, yes.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Now, you can be a first-time homeowner. What qualifies a person to get a home under this program?
Okay. There's a lot of different qualifications, and if you go to our website, which is habitatlasvegas.org, you can click on the button on the right-hand side of the screen. It says Become a Homeowner. But some of the qualifications are they have to have been a resident of Clark County in the last 12 months. They can't have a lien or a bankruptcy in the last 24 months. They need to have a minimum income of $23,000 and a maximum income of 80% of the area median for their family size. So that number varies throughout the year, so you really want to check our website for that.
Sure, for the particulars.
Mm-hmm.
That is so great. Now, when we say that Habitat for Humanity actually builds the house, what do we end up with?
You end up with, depending on your family size, a 3 or 4 bedroom home, and the house is anywhere from 1,100 to 1,200 square feet. It has 1.5 or 2 bathrooms, and they're in the older areas of the valley, so the Pittman area in Henderson, North Las Vegas and the College Park area. So the backyards actually tend to be a little bit bigger than a lot of the newer homes. These homes are also energy efficient, they are water smart, so they're less expensive to run than some of the older homes as well.
That is great. So most people think when they hear of this program that somehow people end up with a free home. There's no cost if you meet the qualifications of the income around 25,000, or depending on how many people are in your family. But do you actually get the house to keep? Is it for a short time until you improve your credit? How does that work?
They actually get to keep the house.
Nice.
But they buy the house. They're not
Oh.
given. First of all, they have to work with 300 hours of what we call sweat equity. Part of that is classroom, and part of that is working on their homes and other Habitat homes as well. And then they have to take a mortgage. Now, the mortgage is underwritten by Habitat for Humanity, so this is 0% interest rate, and it is structured to be no more than 30% of their gross income. So a great example of that is looking at a 3-bedroom rental right now in Las Vegas. The average price for a 3-bedroom rental is $950. The average mortgage for a 3-bedroom Habitat for Humanity mortgage is $368. Exactly.
That is a major, major blessing.
Yes, it
Oh
is.
my gosh.
So it gives our families the opportunity to go back to school, for their kids to become involved in extracurricular activities, for their children to go to college. It's a great opportunity for families.
Oh, yes, it is. Now, everyone listening, my suggestion is, and my request from my heart, you apply. Don't you eliminate yourself. Let them eliminate you. Go through the process, find out exactly how close you may come to qualifying or what you can do to be in this program. You say that the family or person going through this program has to do 300 hours of volunteer work
Yes.
over what period of time?
It it depends. We have some families that'll get 300 hours done in 3 months. We have some families that'll take over a year because so many of our families are single parent and they work full time.
Sure.
So now you've got to try to figure out how you're going to get in those hours. So we work with you and we let you, as long as you're getting the minimum of 25 hours a month, you can take as long as you need.
Oh man, this program is so humane. It's like whoever set it up had gone through this themselves, so they weren't so rigid and strict with the people.
Absolutely.
That is really, really great. So they take the 300, or they perform the 300 hours of volunteering, and that can be working on a house they hope to own one day.
Right.
Or other houses. Do they choose which house they work on?
No, they do not choose which house they work on, and they can't choose which house is going to be theirs.
Oh no.
No, it's who has your hours ready and who's sort of next in the line to get your house. So they work on the houses that we're working on in that time. They can also work in one of our restores, or they can work in our office as well for some of those hours.
Okay, so there are a multitude of ways in which they can fulfill this requirement of 300 hours.
Absolutely.
Can multiple members of the family own or volunteer to get the 300 hours?
They can. Each family member can have up to 100 hours donated for them, and it is 300 hours per adult over 18 living in the house.
Wait,
So if your daughter wanted to do this, you could go out and work with her, and the hours you worked would qualify for her.
That would be great, but are you saying outsiders, like if I volunteer 50 hours, I could donate it to...
Well, you have to
another
know
person
who the
outside of
family
my
it is.
family?
You have to be a close friend and know we need to know ahead of time that this person has you donating the hours to them.
So you have to have that connection there.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sort of jumping around,
That's
but
okay.
I want to know, is it possible maybe to come in to Habitat for Humanity and meet families and then donate some volunteer hours?
We've never had anybody do that, but I'll have to find out.
Find out, because I'm forever, all of our little group, we volunteer on a regular basis.
Okay.
Just because it makes us feel good. You can't have a better feeling than helping someone else. And they don't have to know it's us, but just to be able to give is wonderful. So if we can, maybe we'll come and meet a family and make some donations to them. So where does the money come from to construct these houses?
The money that comes from a lot of different areas. First of all, our special events. We have 2 events a year. Our signature event is called Home for the Holidays, and our 12th annual event is coming up on November 7th. We will raise about $300,000. That's our goal for this event, and that money will go to help build houses as well. We want to be able to build 2 homes from that event. We also do fundraising throughout the year. We go to various corporations, foundations, to ask for support, as well as from the individual community. Las Vegas has a very generous community, and they have been very supportive of us.
I think that's very true for the state. Wonderful people live here. Now, so you have the 2 major fundraisers, and of course, you're a nonprofit 501c3?
Yes, we are. We are a nonprofit 501c3, so all gifts made are tax deductible.
And the monies that are donated go to?
They go to either directly to our families in one way or the other, whether it's directly
Excellent.
to the house or supporting them in the classes, through the trainings, all of those pieces.
Okay, tell us a bit about the areas in which the homes are located.
Okay. We have done a lot of work in the Vegas Heights area. We just wrapped up our last properties there last winter.
Where is that?
Vegas Heights is Lake Mead and Martin Luther King,
Okay.
Cary and J Street. So it's older, what was originally older Northwest Las Vegas, and it's an older neighborhood. Many homeowners that were there before we started working had owned their home for 30 plus years. there were a lot of vacant lots, so we went in and we've built over 40 homes just in that area. So
That
we
is
helped
wonderful.
really build up the community there.
Now, let me just interject that area is very, very transient in becoming a higher income area. I know the FBI have their main headquarters there.
Yes, they do.
And there's also a McDonald's headquarters over there. Well, Jimmy's Market.
Yep,
The best fried catfish in the state.
I will agree with that.
So it's a great area, beautiful area, thriving
is.
area, and there are a lot of businesses
Yes.
there that are really doing well. Well, I know you guys do other things. We're going to take a break very shortly, but we're going to come back, if it's okay, Meg, and talk about your stores and some of the other things that you guys do that are very worthwhile.
Okay,
And we
great.
just want to applaud you and thank you. How long have you been with the organization?
I've been there about 2 years now.
Oh, okay,
So,
great.
and I love it. It's great to see the families, and it's great to see the success.
Wonderful. This is KLAV, 12:30 a.m. This is Positive Impact Now. We are on every Thursday from 4 to 5 p.m., and we hope to see you in 1 minute with more information. Positive Impact Now is a show about you. Do you want to improve in areas of your health, attitudes, and most of all, your enjoyment? I'm Judge Angel. Along with guest hosts, Positive Impact Now will bring you information, coaching, and encouragement to reach your goals. Join us every Thursday from 4 to 5 for your Positive Impact Now with Judge Angel.
Gary Burmasolo, administrator of the Nevada State Veterans Home in Boulder City.
I think that our true heroes are our veterans. They're the ones that have made it possible for us to enjoy the liberty that we enjoy today.
Which is why the Nevada State Veterans Home is proud to provide veterans and their spouses with skilled nursing care 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. For information, contact admissions at 702-332-6717. The Nevada State Veterans Home, caring for America's heroes.
You're listening to Positive Impact Now. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. Now, here again, your hosts, Judge Angel and Mike Faust.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is Positive Impact Now. I'm Judge Angel, and our co-host is here. Mike Faust, busy, the man wearing all the hats with the video and so many other things.
We're getting the job done. We're getting the job done. You guys have been holding down the fort and doing a great job. We appreciate all the information, Meg. I think it's a fantastic organization. And from what I've heard from friends and people that have been involved with the organization, I think you guys are actually an international organization.
That's correct, and thank you. Yeah, we are in almost every country across the world, and we are in every state in the United States.
That's fabulous, and I've known so many people that have been involved and worked with you guys and enjoyed the work, and it's a really rewarding thing. I can't think of anything much better than helping to provide a home for these people. Everybody gets involved, from Jimmy Carter right down the line. You've got ex-presidents and business managers, business owners, and students, and the whole gamut of volunteers.
We do. We get a whole range, and that's what's a lot of fun when you come out to the job site and you work with our families and our different volunteers, and you could be rubbing elbows with the CEO of a big company, or you could be working with, someone who's retired and just has a love of carpentry, to, the person next door. It's a great experience. We have a lot of students that volunteer from UNLV, from Coronado High School, from LVA, and our Youth United program as well. So it's a lot of fun.
I bet. You know what's so great? You guys have what I call the best kept secret. And those are your stores. They are wonderful.
Well, thank you. We love our restores, and they are, I think, a great, very well-kept secret. We have 2 stores, one on North Decatur and one at Flamingo and Pecos, and they are open to the public. That we sell new and gently used building materials and flooring, doors, windows, furniture, home decor. We have a lot of different things, a lot of lighting, ceiling fans, tile. So it's a great place to come if you are looking to do a remodeling project. We have wonderful kitchen cabinets very often. Or if you want to just, spice up your house a little bit. Right now we have a lot of items from the World Market that was just closed in September from their show that wrapped up, and there's some great steals in there right now.
Oh, we're all getting excited here. I love your store. I go to the one on Decatur, just north of Washington, or 95 there.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, audience, they have washers, dryers, the new kind with all the windows that I just think are so pretty in the stores. It costs thousands of dollars. You guys have them there. And believe me, folks, if there's a dent on the side of a washer or dryer, once you push it into your wall space, your storage space, who knows? Or most of all, in my world, who cares?
Exactly.
I mean, these are beautiful projects. I've also seen a lot of nice microwaves that have a smart phone, smart TV features, very advanced over the typical thing that you would see at a appliance store. I've seen marble tile there. Oh, and the chandeliers. I called a girlfriend when I first went there. You guys had these huge entranceway chandeliers. They were fabulous. If anything breaks in your house, I recommend that you go to the Habitat Restore before you go anywhere else. I think you'll be thrilled and very, very happy. So, are there any requirements for anyone to shop there?
Anybody can shop there at all. And on Wednesdays, it is our senior citizen discount day.
Stop.
Make sure it's Wednesdays. And on Saturday, we have military discount days as well.
Nice. So every Saturday, it's a discount for the military. Nice. And senior day is plus
Wednesdays.
45.
Oh, plus 55. If it was plus 45, I'd be in real trouble.
Well, okay, we'll have to check it out. Who's employed there? Who are your employees there?
We have employees. We have a lot of volunteers. We have employees that we actually hire and that are on our payroll. And we also work with the state programs as well for people that have been displaced from their jobs. They come to work with us for a certain required hours per week, and we do on-the-job training with them. We've hired most of our staff directly through those programs when we get an opening.
That is really great.
Well, Meg, do you feel like there's any one important message that you would like to get out to people that you think people need to know about Habitat for Humanity? If there's any one thing, is there something in particular that you'd like to mention?
Well, I think the big thing is that our restores, we like to call the stores that build homes and hope. And that's really what Habitat is about. We build a home and we bring hope into our families.
Meg, you have a flyer here showing one of these homes that have been built, and it's beautiful. But it says Habitat needs families. You need people to apply. You need a waiting list.
Well, we can have a waiting list, but it does take a long time to get through the program with 300 hours of sweat equity. So we love to have people come in because the first step is an orientation. So you come into the orientation, you learn everything that you need to know about it. Again, you can go to our website at Habitat Las Vegas for that. I believe our next available orientation is in December, would be our next openings.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, what does the orientation consist of?
Orientation is about 2.5 hours long, and there's a presentation that takes just a little over an hour that walks through all of the requirements of being what we call a partner family, of being accepted into the program. Everything that you need to do, what the qualifications are, what the expectations are. We go over where we're building currently. Right now we are in North Las Vegas on the streets of Colton in Brazil, which is right off of Cheyenne. And then when we're done with those homes, we'll be moving to Henderson to the Pittman area. So we let our families know where it is that we're currently working.
And does that give them the opportunity to wait for an area if they know you're going to Pittman next? Could they say, well, could we start the program in 4 months, 3 months?
You know,
Not really.
We don't encourage that at all, because
Okay.
you can say, I'm going to start in 3 or 4 months, because that's when you're going to be in Pittman and you're going to be in Henderson. Well, there's people that have started the family program already that are in front of you. So you want to start when you're ready.
You might
Yeah.
think you're preparing.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
but they're not necessarily there.
Exactly.
Now, do you guys just hire from the general public? Can someone just come up?
Absolutely. Job openings are always posted on our website when we do have them. And we also do accept applications in our office at Decatur and at the store at Flamingo. You know, we're not currently hiring we've got a couple openings right now, actually, for an office coordinator and a volunteer coordinator.
Okay,
So,
when it's about a job, we have to slow down.
okay. We have
What's
two
the office
openings.
coordinator?
An office coordinator is going to be doing working at the front desk. They'll be greeting people, answering the phones. They'll be doing some tracking of our gift in kind for our construction site, some other office and administrative pieces.
That sounds great. Somewhat like a receptionist plus
Yes.
duties added on.
Yes.
But basically,
Lots added on.
a
Yes.
good personality you're looking for, someone who's going to be very pleasant to the public.
That's part of
and
it. Yes. Yeah.
Major part, yes.
Yeah.
So, are they paid wages for like being an office coordinator?
They are. They're paid wages for the office coordinator position, and I don't remember that off the top of my head what that figure is.
Yeah, but just generally
Yeah.
paid. And then the second position you
Is
mentioned.
the volunteer coordinator, and that's the person that works both in the office, organizing the volunteers, recruiting them, as well as on the job site with the volunteers too.
Oh, that's great, great. Now, how did you happen to come to this company?
I came through the company because I answered an ad. There was an opening. I have a background in fundraising and a lot of high-level fundraising plans and management, and had moved to Las Vegas to take a job as a consultant, and I missed the nonprofit world. So I saw this and I hopped right back in.
Okay, good, good. Sounds wonderful. As Mike mentioned, President Jimmy Carter was one of your volunteers. That was a high-profile project.
He was here when we built our first house, and
Nice.
this is I believe the last year that he and his wife are going to be very heavily involved. I think a lot of it has to do with their ages, and they have been involved with Habitat for Humanity for 30 years.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a new project. I remember hearing President Jimmy Carter say, that he really liked Habitat for Humanity because it was a Christian organization.
It is a Christian-based organization, but we are non-denominational. We have people in our program from every religion and no religion, so we do accept everyone.
So that's not a requirement.
Not
but
a
of course,
requirement.
if you bring that spirit of humanity, kindness, willing to help others, it always helps. Well, this is so wonderful. We're very excited.
I have a question, though. If someone wants to participate and help out Habitat for Humanity and they believe it's a great cause, but they don't feel confident in working around a construction site or swinging a hammer, what is the best way that they can help? What can they do?
We have volunteers in our restores on a daily basis, so you can come help accept donations there or help us stock the store. You can also help in our administrative office with filing and answering phones and helping us with mailings. And again, at our events, we always need volunteers for our events, not only our Home for the Holidays, but also for our race in the spring. So if they go to our website, they can click on the button that says volunteer and they can register, and it will tell them, they'll be able to pick what it is that they are good at doing and what they like to do.
Well, we're looking forward to putting a link to your site on our website, positiveimpactnow.com, and our listeners will be able to go there and find your information and find all of your contact information.
That would be great.
Meg, before you go, you had mentioned you guys have two major events,
2 major events.
and they take place approximately when?
We have one on Thursday, November 7th. It's called Home for the Holidays. We have a beautiful house in the Belisare community in Summerlin. The homeowners have graciously opened it to us, so it will be an evening to see the house. have some cocktails, some hors d'oeuvres. It is not black tie. And we've got great silent auction items and live auction items as well. That information is also on our website. Our other event is in the spring, generally mid-April, and that is called the Habitrot. It is a 5K run, 1K walk. And it's, we've done it in a couple different places around the city, so we'll see where we're going to be this year.
That's a good idea, the 1K walk. I mean,
Yeah.
then that brings people like me. We can come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Actually, I think it's
great.
1 mile walk, but yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Absolutely. we have families with their kids out there doing it every year, so it's great.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I think I'll bring my godson. He thinks he can do everything. He likes to say, I saw it on television.
Well, we'd love to have them.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Meg Delore from Habitat for Humanity. We thank you so much for joining us today.
This is KLAV 1230, Positive Impact Now, featuring Judge Angel. We're going to take a short break and come back to you with Business Matters. Thank you very much.
Positive Impact Now is a show about you. Do you want to improve in areas of your health, attitudes, and most of all, your enjoyment? I'm Judge Angel. Along with guest hosts, Positive Impact Now will bring you information, coaching, and encouragement to reach your goals. Join us every Thursday from 4 to 5 for your Positive Impact Now with Judge Angel.
Every 28 seconds, a car in the U.S. is stolen. Don't become the next victim. In times like these, a little extra precaution can go a long way. Never leave your keys in the ignition. Always lock doors and keep windows closed. Equip your car with an alarm or other theft deterrent device. If you become a victim of auto theft, report it immediately to your local law enforcement agency. To learn more about protecting yourself from auto theft, visit ncpc.org.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Positive Impact Now. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. Now, here again, your hosts, Judge Angel and Mike Faust.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike Faust, your co-host on Positive Impact Now, featuring Judge Angel. I have a little business update here, jobs update on our Business Matters section. It's a career fair, another career fair. It's the reviewjournal.com career fair coming up Tuesday, October 8th at 12 noon to 4 p.m. at Texas Station. And there will be employers there interviewing people. So show up, be prepared to interview. Have your resume with you, be dressed in proper business attire, and be ready to go and talk to these people and sell yourselves. And we'll have a link to more information on that career fair on our website. You can see us at www.positiveimpactnow.com. And we'll have phone numbers and other links that you can get more information on that. They also have career consulting information and job placement services from such organizations as RSL Consulting, Goodwill of Southern Nevada, Inc., Nevada Partners, Inc., HELP of Southern Nevada, Vegas PBS, and more. It sounds like there's going to be some great jobs out there available, some employers from some great companies that are going to be looking for strong people to bring on board. I wanted to share a little information with you guys. My name's Mike Faust. I work at First Choice Business Brokers. I'm a broker salesperson there now for 8 years. I've seen a lot of people get involved with buying businesses, looking for businesses to buy or sell, been involved in many, many transactions. And there are some things that have become pretty clear to me now. And I wanted to share a couple of those thoughts and ideas with you. And one of them is sort of rooted in some principles that were made famous by an author, Michael Gerber. He's written a series of books based on his first national bestseller, The E-Myth. And the book sort of centers around his perception that business people are primarily made up of three kinds of people. You've got the entrepreneur. This is the guy, the creative guy, the big idea guy that really is good at bringing a concept together from nothing and building something out of it that's working, that's producing income, that's a real business. Then there's the manager. This is the guy that likes to run the business. The entrepreneur likes to put it together, but he doesn't want to run it. Once he's got it together, he's got another idea for a new business to build. But the manager is the guy that really wants to run the business, take care of the day-to-day operations of that business. They may not always be as creative or outgoing or as good with people as the entrepreneur, but typically they are good with people. The managers have to have that skill, but it's a different skill set. And then you have the technician. For instance, you've got a lady that is great at making pies. She makes the best pies you've ever tasted in your entire life. Okay, now does that necessarily mean she should open a pie shop? Well, maybe not. Okay, maybe that's what she's good at, is making those pies. And Michael Gerber makes the point that it's extremely rare to find all three of these peoples all rolled into one. Okay, so you really have to kind of understand who you are and what kind of person you are in order to help you clarify your dream for your dream business. Okay, and if you can understand yourself and know which one of these you kind of fit into, that allows you to play to your strengths. Okay, and if you can picture yourself in a particular business and really believe in your mind that it's possible for you, that you're capable of this, that success at this business is believable to you, then you've got a good chance to make it. Very often when people examine existing businesses that we have listed for sale, they will really go into great lengths, take long periods of days or weeks to examine all of the paperwork, observe the business, investigate the business, go through profit and loss statements, balance sheets, purchase orders, invoices, and they're really digging through this paperwork because they want to be sure that before they invest their hard-earned dollars into purchasing this business, that it's making money, that it's really making the money the guy says it is. Okay, and very often I point out to these buyers that regardless of the thick stacks of paper that I can provide you with showing what this business is doing, if you can't walk into that business and see and feel in your gut very clearly how you're going to make money in that business, then maybe I should show you another business. Okay, you have to feel it. It has to be believable to you. Because at the end of the day, it almost always comes down to the operator. I can point out specific examples of businesses at a specific location that have failed time and again, once, twice, three times. And a new prospective buyer will look at that business and come in and he'll see something. He'll see something that makes sense to him. He sees something that makes him feel that I could make this work, and I understand what the mistakes are that have been made. And they walk into that business, take that same failing business, that business that has failed multiple times, and turn it into a winner. So it's really up to you. And I think that's even more important than the specific location, the particular business or the industry, how much competition is around, the market, the economy. More important than all of those things are that individuals. There are people that make money in good economies and bad, good markets and bad. Some people thrive on the competition. That's why when you go around town, sometimes, for instance, in the automotive services business, some operators really want to be away from other shops. But at the same time, each and every one of you, I'm sure, is aware of an auto service center that's got several businesses. There's a tire store, there's a transmission shop, there's general tune-up and auto repair, there's an upholstery shop, and they all want to be right next door to each other. Okay, you've seen that, haven't you, Judge Angel?
In the same central area. You get all your services done in the same area.
That's right, and they refer business back and forth and work with each other and cooperate with one another, and they make that business grow. Is this microphone on? So, by all means, location is something to consider, certainly, and if you have an opportunity to, and sometimes that's a big part of what strikes you when you see a business that you're interested in purchasing. Man, it's just a beautiful location, and you see tons of cars going by, and that's the key to you, and that's what makes you feel strongly that you can be successful at that center. Then go with that. Trust your gut, trust your feelings, and trust your instincts.
I think it's interesting when you talk about whether or not a person should decide to purchase an existing building or start their own, is that gut feeling, because sometimes people believe in themselves enough to know that they're going to go that extra mile. They're going to put in that extra time, and more importantly, they're going to make sure they surround themselves with people who have the personality that make people feel welcome. I know I've heard people say, well, I went to this restaurant, but no one greeted me when I came in the door. And they felt that that was a snafu, if you will, because they were waiting for someone to come up and say, hello, we'll be right with you.
Service is always important. Customer service is key. And frankly, some people are better at it than others. And if, as I mentioned, you understand who you are and understand your strengths and what you're good at, if you're not the guy that can put a smile on his face regardless of the fight he had with his spouse that morning, or the bad break he caught yesterday, or small business is a string of one challenge after another. It's putting out one fire after another, and still in the middle of all that, being able to keep your vision, number one, of what the business is and where you're going with it, and two, to keep that image, that positive image, protect your brand, protect your image, and present a welcoming face to your customer, so that they want to come back and continue to do business with you. And it goes for your employees, the people that are working for you as well. And again, if you're aware of the fact that, gee, I'm just not good with people, but I'm very good at putting these television sets together, well, then maybe focus your efforts on the technician side and hire a good manager to be the public face. Keep that in mind.
And I say that to the lady that makes the good pies.
Right?
Start your shop, girlfriend. Make those good pies.
Get the help you need.
And get some help in the front who has that bubbly personality, who's very patient with people, who's asking them, how may I help you? That is so critical, because people feel like they're spending their money and they have choices, particularly in an area like this.
You've got to play to your strengths.
Absolutely.
Now, the other point that I wanted to make was record keeping is key. I talk to a lot of people that get off to a good start. They've started their business. They started it on a shoestring, but they're putting it together, and they can and they've got it running. It's operating. They're doing the job, and they run the business, and they're making money, and they come to me, gee, can I sell the business for them? And once I look at the information they have available, then I let them know that, look, you've got a business, you're making money, but I can't prove it to anybody. I can't show. You have to keep good records. And if they don't have the profit and loss statements, if they don't have the balance sheet, if they don't have good accounting, it affects the value of that business. So if you decide that you're the right person for the job, and that this is a business that you can do, and you believe it, and you see it, and you start doing it, you have to keep good records. Every time you spend a nickel, keep a record of it. Every time you get in your car to go somewhere for that business, write it down. Keep those good records, maybe quarterly, if not monthly, maybe semi-annually. You get everything over to an accountant or a bookkeeper and let them put together the paperwork for you, because that's what's going to help me when I get ready to try to sell that business for you. And one of the things that this author I mentioned earlier, Michael Gerber, wrote in his books is that really the only reason to own a business is to build it up and sell it. And if you get good at that, there's not a much better business in the world.
And that's how some people get to be multi-billionaires, millionaires, because they buy a business, sell a business, buy a business, sell a business.
Stay creative, never stay too far away from the dream, keep questioning everything. Gee, is there a better way to do this? I can see a better way to do this. Is there a better way to make that? I can see a better way to make that. Or can I just do a better job, provide a little better customer service? Can I make a better burger? Okay. Keep your creativity going. Keep an eye out for a good business to start. Call a local business broker. Hopefully it'll be me, Mike Faust, broker salesperson at First Choice Business Brokers. We're going to take a short break here today, and we're going to come back with an officer,
Jose Hernandez.
Jose Hernandez, who's going to share some information with us about the coming season here. It's a crime
October
prevention. Go ahead, Judge Angel.
Okay, we'll be right back with you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, this is Ronnie Wood of the Stones for RAD. You know it's okay to rock and roll and party, because I do it all the time. Just let someone else do the driving. That's what I do. Remember, rock lives, and you should too. Please don't drink and drive.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Positive Impact Now is a show about you. Do you want to improve in areas of your health, attitudes, and most of all, your enjoyment? I'm Judge Angel. Along with guest hosts, Positive Impact Now will bring you information, coaching, and encouragement to reach your goals. Join us every Thursday from 4 to 5 for your Positive Impact Now with Judge Angel.
Positive Impact Now. Continue. Here again, Judge Angel and Mike Faust.
Welcome back to Positive Impact Now. We're so honored to have with us Officer Joseph Hernandez because October is Crime Prevention Month. And I hope and pray we can prevent some crimes. Officer, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come here. We're just glad to see you anytime you can stop by.
Judge Angel, thank you so much for having me. And I apologize. Any opportunity that we are able to take to talk to the public about crime prevention and crime prevention tips, I should say, is always welcome, and we appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, and right now we're asking you to come back at your next opportunity, and we'll continue.
Absolutely.
Because this is ongoing information that's always necessary. So let's start with, what's the best way people could protect themselves around abandoned and foreclosed properties?
Well, I'll tell you that when we talk about a residential area, and this is where we're going to find a majority of these homes that are perhaps foreclosed, a good, solid neighborhood watch is always very, very, very important, because of course in numbers there's safety, and when you have multiple pairs of eyes looking out there for each other, that you can't beat that. And so if you don't have one already set up, I would suggest that you begin by talking to your neighbors, because that forces us to come out, meet our neighbors, which is something in Las Vegas that we oftentimes don't do. So,
and that's because most of the homes are built so the patios on the back, the pools on the back,
right,
and people are going to the back of their homes, not watching the front. So
yes,
I think in essence every block needs a nosy neighbor.
Absolutely. You know, even if it's you take a minute, you come outside, you look left, look right, you will be able to see who belongs in your neighborhood, who doesn't. You'll be able to notice those strange vehicles that you've never seen before. You'll see those folks that perhaps may be visiting, but maybe not. And those folks that if your neighbors are out of town,
Yes,
your neighbors if you've been there a number of
Hopefully.
years, you know who visits, you know who doesn't belong. And of course, these are the things that we want to look out for. If you see someone that's perhaps out of place that you've never seen in your neighborhood, a car, a strange vehicle you've never seen, you absolutely
Especially
want to
if
bring
that
that up.
vehicle's moving furniture like TVs and computers.
I'll tell you,
Check.
if you see in the middle of the day somebody moving a television out, it does call. Let an officer come out and let the officer make a determination as to, this is legitimate. This is a moving company. This is the owner moving their television. Oftentimes we see things like that, and then we find out later I was broken into, and then you feel like, ooh,
Yes.
that might have been what I saw earlier today.
Yes.
So it never there's no question is silly. You see something, say something, which is something that we've definitely been pushing for some time now. And it's not just a catchy phrase. I mean, it's really, if you see something that appears out of the ordinary, please call, please report it.
I like to say, if you see something in your neighborhood and you go, I don't remember that,
Absolutely.
check it out. Talk to
Absolutely.
another neighbor. Find out if anyone else has seen this, particularly with those vehicles
Yes.
that sort of drift around, park in front of one house, and you've never seen them. Then they take off after an hour. Then they're back the next day, maybe 2 hours later, sitting there for an hour.
Absolutely.
My thought is, are they tracking to see
Right.
who's coming in and out?
Well, we live in a very busy nowadays in this era. Everyone's busy. We're all at work. The kids are at school, and oftentimes our homes are left unattended. But we still have those neighbors that stay home that perhaps work different shifts. Please, you see something that just doesn't appear right. That's the information we need.
Now, share with us again, officer. When should we use 311 and when should we use 911?
That's a great question. It's very it's interesting because we receive upwards of 2 million calls that come through our communication center a year, and so that's quite a bit of calls. And to help us out, better help and direct resources for you, if you're witnessing a crime in progress, something that requires immediate police attention, assistance, then you want to call 911 because they're going to dispatch an officer right away. If it's something perhaps that doesn't require an immediate police assistance, for instance, you come home, and I'm not to downplay anyone becoming a victim of a crime, but say you come home and you realize that your car's been broken into. Obviously, the person's gone, the suspect is gone, and you find that your vehicle has been gone through. At that moment, you can call 311.
Okay.
And again, it's just going to be to report the fact that, okay, here's my vehicle was broken into. As you're pulling up to your driveway, you see a vehicle pull away from your car, or you see a person running away from your car. Anytime that you can provide suspect information, you want to call 911 because that requires an immediate police presence.
And we want to try and see license plate numbers, clothing, height.
Absolutely. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Anytime you witness a crime, be a good witness, because that's how you're going to best help the officer that comes out to help you. We talk about a description, a physical description. Start at top: hair, eyes, facial hair, clothing, shoes. Shoes can be very important. Color of shoes, type of shoes. With vehicles, color of the vehicle, 2-door, 4-door. The more details that you can remember, the numbers of the plate, whether it's numbers or letters, whatever it is that you can remember that can best that will best help us. That's what we ask you. Be a good witness. At the time, if you can't do it, when you get to a place where you can, write down the information that you recall so that you can give that to us.
I have a question. Are there any special events coming up this month for Crime Prevention Month, or is it really just an attitude that we're looking for here?
Well, we had a first Tuesday this month that focused on the crime prevention. and that was at all of our area commands. So all the residents could choose an area command that was closest to their home, and they could come in and they would listen to, or they would talk to some officers who were providing tips on crime prevention. But with that said, I love how you said that. It should be a state of mind. It should be something that, as a community, we all have to be involved in crime prevention. It's something that together, if we tackle this issue together, we can prevent.
Have a positive impact right now.
Right now.
Officer,
right
we're so happy you were able to join us for a brief time, as brief as it was, and we will invite you back. We are going to have to start to wrap things up. Judge Angel, was there anything in particular you want to close with? Thank you very much, Officer.
Thank you, Officer. That was great, and this is your other home.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Any information you can share with the community, we're available to help you, and we appreciate that greatly. So thank you so much for joining Positive Impact Now. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our show today. We'll be so honored if you will go to our Facebook, www.facebook.com/Positive Impact Now, and click on like and also share. That will be a great thing. And remember our website, www.positiveimpactnow.com. That's www.positiveimpactnow.com. We want to thank all the crew here, and we're giving a special hug and love to Irma on this day. And we ask that you join us here on KLAV 1230 AM radio every Thursday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. We're here live, and again, we want to thank our guests. We're so thankful to Meg Delore, who came on with Habitat for Humanity, and Officer Hernandez, who came to talk about crime tips and how we have to take care of each other all the times. This is Positive Impact Now. I'm Judge Angel.
And I'm Mike Faust. Thank you all for joining us today, and come back and see us next week.
Thank you.